Hi guys, it's Saturday. It is after 12. It's my brother and sister's birthday today. We are on our way to Cape Town, the whole family, but in the car it's hubby, the boy and the daughter. The plan was to go for a tasting in Cape Town, and then we booked a place to stay for the night, and then the plan was that we all come home tomorrow. Now luckily, my brother-in-law thought to phone the place and just check if everything is still fine for tonight. And then he finds out that the booking was made for the wrong date. So now we don't have a place to sleep. And they don't want to refund the money that we've paid to them. So the plan is now just to go for the tasting, maybe grab a bite to eat afterwards, and then we're coming home. So obviously I'll take you for the tasting, and if we go eat someplace nice, I'll share that with you guys. And the outfit for the day is a silver sissy boy top, and then tights, and then I'm wearing my golden black Rebecca Minkoffs, and then I'm taking this little beaded bag for an outing. It hasn't been for an outing in ages. We've made it to Cape Town and we are on our way to the tasting spot now. Let me take you somewhere special, hidden in the heart of Cape Town. My sister came across this gorgeous little whiskey shop right next to Off the Gluten Bath, where the shelves whisper stories and the bottles, they speak fluent sophistication. This is the Whisky Shop, part museum, part tasting haven, and 100% adult playground. If your idea of fun is sipping liquid gold. Whether you're a seasoned connoisseur or like me, they've got something for every taste and every budget. The staff, super knowledgeable. From bold Scottish single malts to smooth Japanese blends, every bottle has a vibe. Trust me, once you've had a tasting here, you will never look at whiskey the same way. Next time you're in Cape Town, do yourself a favor, pop into the Whisky Shop. It's not just a store, it's an experience. Yes, your taste buds will thank you, and they also do gin tastings.
Okay. Alright, so basically the brand behind BAYAB Gin is a company called Spearhead Spirits. Two African guys out of KwaZulu-Natal in the Midlands. They were studying overseas and they often met in bars in Europe, and they realized there's just no African products behind European bars, and they knew what we had in South Africa, so they decided when they came back they were going to do something about it. Whereas if you just infuse it, it tastes like tea. So that's the difference between compound versus distillation. So it's infused versus actually distilled fluid. Alright, so that's basically the difference. If you've ever seen on a label a London dry style or a classic dry style gin, that means all the botanicals were done in one shot. So if it was in distillation, it sits in one big bouquet garni and one distillation. Out of Philippines, just around the corner, coriander seeds, you know, the piece that gets stuck in your teeth when you're eating biltong, or dania as our locals call it. Cassia bark, which is a Japanese cinnamon, okay, goes extensively in Africa, that's why we use it. I don't have rosemary, but I'm sure you all know what rosemary look like. And then of course the BAYAB fruit. So those are the 7 botanicals that make up the classic dry gin. Okay, so start to water if you take a really good sniff. So let's avoid doing that. We want to open your mouth always when you're doing high spirits and breathe in through your mouth, not through your nose. So if you all want to pick your glass up, nose all the way in, and then just do that and taste it. Top left bottom up, man.
Sorry.
There we go. Just hold it on top of your tongue and hold it there and hold it there and hold it there. Now put it underneath your tongue and leave it underneath your tongue and wait for it. Wait for it. Almost another magic. Back to the top of your tongue. It gets thick and syrupy and rich. Now you can swallow. So for the pineapple, I'm just going to give you a regular tonic water. It'll pick up the pineapple note, and then I'm going to stir use a Negroni for the orange, and I'll talk you through the Negroni when I make it. Okay. All right. So let me quickly get that done for you guys. Okay. So we start with production. Now it doesn't matter where you make whiskey in the world. It always consists of only 3 components: cereal, yeast, and water. The only other thing we may add to that is something called E150, which is a caramel colorant. That's more problem for Johnny Walker, Chivas Regal, etc., who sell millions of bottles every year. They want every bottle to be the same color, and no two barrels of whiskey are ever identical in color. Right? That's why we like to add E150. So when we talk about cereal, we mean rye, barley, wheat, corn, rice, millet, oats, buckwheat, sorghum. All of those are cereals. You can use any of them. Just in water at 100. So that's how we separate the two. So once that steam goes up, every time it touches the sides, it falls back down again. Okay. And only when it's light enough to go straight to the very top do we collect that spirit. That's why it's light in style. Macallan, on the other hand, make a big, heavy spirit. Reason, their still's only 6 foot tall. Filled to 65%, not a lot of headspace, not a lot of reflux. Heavy spirit, okay. Right, so basically those are your two styles. At the end of distillation you have a natural white spirit. You can bottle it as vodka if you so want to. The one out of the column still is perfect for vodka because it's got almost no flavor. The one out of the pot still, 30% of whiskey's flavor is already intact. So if you were making vodka, you'd have to filter that flavor off because vodka has to be neutral. Okay, so that's why most vodka makers use column stills and not pot stills. Basically, now that we've got the neutral spirit, we then go on to the final stage, which is maturation. Maturation means sleeping in wood. So we put it into wood for a minimum of 3 years before you can call it whiskey. So the nose goes in the glass and you breathe in. This is a South African single grain whiskey aged in American and French oak. So sweet mealies, followed by sweet caramel, followed by sort of buttered toast. Those are the three characters that you should be picking up in this whiskey, right? Doesn't matter if you don't, you'll get there eventually one day. Just practice more. Okay, so now that you've taken those flavors in, now take a little sip, hold it on top. Ask 100 Americans right now, 96 of them will tell you can only make bourbon in Kentucky. You can make it anywhere in the United States of America as long as you obey the following rules. Minimum 51% corn, may not be distilled higher than 80% alcohol. For reference, this will to 93%, so they can only go to maximum 80%. Then they have to age it in virgin white American charred barrels. Okay, they're not allowed to use European oak. As of 2019, if they are doing double maturation, the second barrel can be European, but that's only a new law, so it's brand new still for them. And then lastly, no E150, no coloring allowed. So that's why Jack Daniels is not a bourbon. Jack Daniels charcoal filter their whiskey, and that adds a bit of color and a bit of flavor, so therefore they're disqualified from being a bourbon. Okay. Right. Another thing you'll see on American labels quite often is the term sour mash. And for me, that's really the big definer between American whiskies and everybody else. Everyone else, we keep our malts and grains separate, mature them separately, and then blend mature spirits. They mash their cereals together. Okay. Sour mash has been around since 1829. It was bought out in 2014 by Glenfiddich, so the Grants family now own it. They rebuilt the Tullamore distillery in 2014. Up until then, the previous Tullamore distillery burned down in 1889 and was never replaced. It was always made under license by Jameson. So since 2014, they've rebuilt the distillery and they have started to make. So the stuff you find on the shelf now is a combination of their stuff that they're producing and what Pernod is producing for them.
And I would like to call this guy a whiskey wizard. He knows absolutely everything about whiskey.
And gin experience. Almost got it done in an hour. No, you were late, I got it done. Pleasure. Are there any questions? I don't know anything about the cake that you'll have to speak to someone else about.
You sounded so knowledgeable, I thought you knew everything.
It's gluten free, I'm guessing.
See, you know.
That's a good guess.
And that's all I'm guessing. Alright, no more questions, all happy?
If you're in Cape Town and you want a unique experience or a gift for the person that has everything and that loves whiskey, pop into the Whisky Shop. Okay, so we finished up at the whiskey tasting now. We had the whiskey, we had some cake, and we are feeling peckish as usual. So we decided to go to Blues Bistro. That's my sister and hubby's favorite restaurant in Cape Town. So we are going to go there for a bite. Okay, we've decided we're doing the Christmas draw today, so we're doing Secret Santa. So far, I think this is our third or fourth one, and the fifth one, and still no success. You're not allowed to get your partner and or your own name, and so far it's been partners and own name. So let's see, maybe 6 time lucky. Okay, not 6 time lucky. My mom drew her own name.
You like that?
My mom ordered the chicken chimichurri.
You're a right liker. I think he's also a right liker.
Yes, it's cute, eh? I forgot to take a photo beforehand, but this is midway. It's delicious.